for the past few days, we have been looking at some questions on that variation. Okay, today I want to do revision, okay, on this topic. So I've selected some questions. So I want us to go through the questions one after the other. So before we commence, I want you to get your writing materials ready. Get your biro, your pencil. If need be, you can get your calculator and get set for the class. And don't forget to invite your classmates. Let them know the class has started. All right. Let us have a good number of students on the platform today. So ensure you invite your friends. Okay. And also, I want to appeal to those of you that are just joining us for the first time and you have not subscribed to this channel. Please ensure you subscribe to this channel, and also don't forget to give the class a thumb. Okay, so just like I've said, we are going to be looking at some questions on that variation. There are some questions we have done before, and we have to treat it again so that we have a better understanding on those questions. Okay, so let us just wait for a few seconds before we commence the class. Let's quickly invite our friends. Let's see, do we have a good number before we commence the class? Okay, so once you are joining the class, don't forget to just say hi, and also um, you can also click the like button and let us know that you are in the class. Okay, I think I can see Pamela, you're welcome to class. Olorun Fumi, yes, you're welcome to class. Uba, you're welcome to class. Who else am I seeing here? Okay, I can see Pamela, you're welcome to class. Okay, all right. Okay, Marinette, you're welcome to class. That's Aisha. Marinette, you're welcome to class. Okay. Yes, Uba, you're welcome to class. I can see. So just ensure you inform others that the class have started. I can't. Okay. Um, yes, Bolaon is in the class. You're welcome. All right. Let us look at the first question for today. All right. That is going to be the first question we are going to start with. It's a very simple question. Okay. Now let's look at it. If x varies directly as x, if y varies directly as x plus 4, and y is 20 when x is 5, find y when x is 5. Okay. This is a direct variation question. So how do we go about this? Now we have, if y varies directly as x plus 4, now then what it implies is y is equals to k times x plus 4, where k is a constant. Okay, so now we want to get the value of y when x is 5. Well, we need to get the constant first. We have been given this variable that y is 20 when x is 5. So let's plug in these values. Let's plug them in. So y is 20, we have 20 equals to k times 5 minus 4 plus 4. Sorry, 5 plus 4. Okay, so we have 20 equals to k. Now when you add together, you have 9. So times 9. So here you can divide both sides by 9, the coefficient of k. So we have 20 over 9 equals to k. So this is going to be the value of k. So we can write out the connecting formula. So you just come here and write this. Y equals to k. K is 20 over 9 times x plus 4. All right. This is the connecting formula. But the question wants us to get y when x is 5. So let's plug in the value of 5 here. Okay, so we have y equals to 20 over 9, and this is 5 plus 4. That is y equals to 20 over 9 times 9. So 9 cancels 9. So therefore, y equals to 20. So that is the answer to the first problem. So it's as straight as what we have there. Okay, so now we can then move to another question. But before we do that, if you are just joining the class for the first time, ensure you subscribe to the channel, and also don't forget to give a like to the video. All right. Okay, now let's move down to the second question here. If x plus 3 varies directly as y minus 2, okay, and x is 3 when y is 5. Find Roman numeral 1 x when y is 5, y when x is 3. Okay, so that is the question on the board. So how do we go about this question? The question says, if x plus 3 varies directly as y minus 2 and x equals to 3 when y is 5, find x when y is 5 and find y when x is 3. So how do we go about this? Now let's write out the variation. So we have, if x plus 3 varies directly as y minus 2, then it implies that x plus 3, we introduce the proportionality constant equals to k y minus 2, where k is a what? A constant. All right, so now we need to get this proportionality constant. So in the question, x is what? X is 3. And y is what? Y is 5. So now let's plug in these values now so that we're able to get the proportionality constant. So we have 3 plus 3 equals to k open bracket. Y is 5 minus 2. Okay, so this is going to give you 6 equals to k times 3. Now here you can divide both sides by 3. So you have 6 over 3 equals to k. So therefore, k equals to 2. All right, so you can get the connecting formula now. So you just come here, you write everything here, but you just change k only. So you write thus x plus 3 is equals to 2 times y minus 2. So the only thing that is changing there is k. Now the question wants you to get x when y is 5. So when y is 5, let's plug in the value of y here. For the first one, we have x plus 3 equals to 2 open bracket 5 minus 2. So we have changed y to 5 because y is 5. We have x plus 3 equals to 2 times. Now when you subtract this, we have 3. Okay, so I can move this one to this side, subtract 3 from both sides. So I have 6 negative 3. Okay, so and x is what? X is 3. All right, can we look at the second one? All right, so let's look at the second one. Give me the answer to the second one and drop your answer in the comment section. I want to believe you can do that. Now, find y when x is 3. So making use of this connecting formula. Can you quickly do that and drop your answer in the comment section? Okay, let's drop our answer in the comment section. Yes. What is the value of y when x is 3? Anyone? Okay, all right. Because of our time, I'm not seeing anybody dropping answer. Okay, I can see Olorunfunmi. Okay, Olorunfunmi have dropped an answer. Familiar. Okay, so what of others? All right, let's be fast about it. Any other person? Okay, now let's work with the two answers we have there. So, now let's see. The question asks us to find y when x is 3. So let's just plug in the value of x here, so we can get the value of y. So when x is 3, so let's plug that in. So we have 3 plus 3 equals to 2 times y minus 2. Okay, so when you add this, you have 6 equals to 2 open bracket y minus 2. Okay, so here you divide both sides by 2. So we have 6 over 2 equals to y minus 2. So when you divide this, what do you have? You have 3. So we have 3 equals to y minus 2. So you can add 2 to both sides. We have 3 plus 2 equals to y. So therefore y equals to 5. So that is the correct answer. So y is 5. All right, so we are moving down to another question. And let's look at the next question here. X varies directly as 2/3 of y, and inversely as the square of z, and x equals to 1/2 when y equals to 12. And z equals to 2. Find the law of variation, and 2, y when x equals to 0.2 and z equals to 0.25. Okay, so that is the question here. All right, before we solve this problem, if you are new in this channel, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and also don't forget to give a like to the class if the class is impactful. Okay, so now let's look at this problem now. Now, x varies directly as 2/3 of y and inversely as the square of z, and x is 1/2 when y is 12 and z is 2. So find the law of variation, also y when x is 0.2 and z is 0.25. So how do we solve this problem? The first thing is to interpret what this question is saying. Now, x varies directly as 2/3 of y. 2/3 of y. 2/3 means 2 times 1/3, and it's written in this form. 2/3 of y. 2/3 of y is the same thing as 2y/3. Now, because this off is the same thing as multiplication, all right? So when you multiply y times 2/3, so it's going to give you 2y/3. Okay, so now let's move down here. X varies directly as 2/3 of y. So I have x varies directly as 2/3 of y, okay, which is what we have here. And also, and inversely as the square of z. What is square of z? Square of z is written in this form. And inversely means this is going to the denominator. All right, so I have it here. So I have z squared. Hope you understand that. All right, so then we cannot change this variation to an equation. So it implies that x equals to, now we are introducing the proportionality constant here. So that's going to give us 2ky/3z squared, where k is a constant. K is a constant here. All right, so what do we do now? We need to get this proportionality constant k. So we substitute the value of x, y, and z, which is given in the question. Now let's look at the question. We have been told that x is 1/2, y is 12, and z is 2. Now let's plug in these values. Now this turns to 1/2, which represents the x, equals to 2 times k times y is what? 12 times 12/3 times z is 2. That's going to be 2 squared. Okay? Now, so we have this as, now let's look at this. 2 squared is the same thing as 2 times 2. I can simply write it this way. All right, now let's break this one down. 2, we cancel these 2. Now 3 goes here 1, 3 goes here is 4. All right, so here now 2 goes here 1, 2 goes here 2. So here I have 1/2 equals to 2k over 1. So I can cross multiply. So when you cross multiply, you have 4k equals to 1. And you have k equals to 1 over 4 when you divide both sides by 4. Okay, so now this is the proportionality constant. So you can now plug in this into this to get the law of variation. So let's see, we write thus, okay, x equals to 2. Now look at k. K is 1 over 2. So 1 will be at the numerator, while 4 will be at the denominator. Okay, so that is going to give you y, because 1 times y is still the same thing as y, over 3 times 4z squared. Okay, now this 3 is here, and this 4 is the 4 we have here, which is at the denominator here. So, and we have x squared. But when you look at this equation, we can simplify it as x equals to y over, now 2 goes here 1, 2 goes here 2. So these 2 can multiply this to have what? 6. We have 6z squared is the required law of variation. Okay, this is the required law of variation. X equals to y over 6z squared. Fine. Now let's look at the second part of the question. You have to find y when x is 0.2 and z is 0.25. Okay, so now let's plug in these values here. So we have, instead of writing x, we have 0.2, because x is 0.2 equals to y. We are actually looking for y over now 6z squared. What is z? Z is 0.25. Okay, so here you can cross multiply. So when you cross multiply this over 1, you have y equals to 0.2 times 6 times 0.25. Okay, so now I'm going to express this decimal number in fraction. So I have this as 1 over 5. 0.2 is same thing as 1 over 5 times 6 times, now this is 1 over 4. Okay, so now let us see how do we reduce this. Now 2 goes here 2, 2 goes here is 3. Okay, so I have y to be equals to 3 over what? Over 10. All right, and that is the same thing as what? If I want to express it in decimal, that is the same thing as 0.3. So in fraction, you have it this way. In decimal, you have it. So this is the answer to the problem. All right, so I hope you understand that. Okay, so now let's move down to another problem. So this one is going to be under partial variation. Partial variation. A is partly constant and partly varies Okay. Now this another question here under partial variation. Okay, so A is partly constant and partly varies as the square of B. So you have to write the connecting formula, given that A is 15 when B is 49 and A is 5 when B is 4. And you are asked to find B when A is 17. So how do we solve this problem? So the first thing is to write the equation. Now we have A is partly constant. A is partly constant. That means A is equals to a constant. Now let's represent the first constant with small letter A. So A is partly constant, A equals to A. And so you write plus. Now, and partly varies with the square of B, and partly varies with the square. Sorry, this is supposed to be square root, square root, square root, and partly varies with the square root of B. So that's what we're supposed to have there. Partly varies with the square root of B. So we have square root of B. Okay, so this is the variable. So we must introduce another constant once we write a variable here. So now let's put it here. We have the constant B. So where A and B are constants, they are constants. All right. So now the next thing is to plug in the values of A and B so that we have two equations. Don't forget, when you are solving partial variation, you are going to solve simultaneous equations. Okay, so now let's see. A is given to be what? 15, and B is given to be 49. Let's plug in the values. So we have 15 equals to A plus B. Now this is what? Square root of 49. Okay, so we can simplify this one. This is the same thing as 15 equals to A plus 7B. So we can call this equation 1. All right, so now let's look at it again. We are also told now that A is 5 when B is 4. So let's plug in that here. A is 5 when, so we have 5 equals to A plus, so we are plugging it in here, B square root of 4. Okay, B is 4, A is 5. But we can break this one down. So we have 5 equals to A plus. Now square root of 4 is 2. We write 2B. Don't forget I told you in the last video that you cannot write B2. This is not mathematical. You can't write B2. So because you cannot say oranges 2. So you better put the number at the front. So that makes more sense than this. Okay. So this is going to be the second equation. So with what we have here, we can then solve the equation simultaneously. Now let's solve simultaneously. Before we do that, if you are just joining this class for the first time and you have not subscribed to this channel, ensure you do that. And also, if this class is impactful, don't forget to give a thumb to the class. Thank you for doing that. Okay, so now let's subtract equation 2 from equation 1. So we have 15 minus 5. What do you have? You have 10 equals to, now A minus A, that gives you 0. Now 7B minus 2B, that gives you 5B. So here you are looking for B. So you divide both sides by what is the side B, and that is 5. So I'm dividing both sides by 5. So I have 10 over 5 equals to 5B over 5. So this will cancel the 5 goes here 1, 5 goes here 2. So therefore B equals to 2. All right, so you have gotten the first constant. Now let's get the second constant. So plug in the value of b into any of the equations. So I would prefer equation 2. So let's plug in b into equation 2. Now I have 5 equals to a plus 2 times. Now b is 2, so let's have it that way. So we now have 5 equals to a plus 4. All right, so you can subtract 4 from both sides. So if you do that, you'll be having 5 minus 4 equals to a. So therefore, a equals to 1. So we now have the two constants. So from here, we can get the connecting formula. So the connecting formula just come down here where we have a equals to small letter a plus small letter b square root of b. Okay, so now let's plug in the values now. So we have a equals to a, what is a here? 1 plus b is what? B is 2 square root of b. This is the connecting formula, okay, that is connecting a and b together. So we can now go further and get b when a is 17. All right, so before I do this one, I want you to try that. Now, let's try this and drop our answer in the comment section. Now, the question says, find b when a is 17. I want you to try something. Just get your biro and your writing material, your book. Do something. This is the connecting formula. Find the value of b. I know you can do that. Once you have your answer, drop it in the comment section and let me see what you have. Thank you for doing that. All right, so I'm waiting for your answer. What is the value of b? What do you have as b? Okay, I think someone have dropped an answer. I can see Olorunfunmi's answer. Oh, progress. I can see her answer. Okay, Zezo. That's 16. Okay, I can see Oloyede Lukman. Yes, Marinette. Yes, I can see this court. Okay, Gbolahan. All right, I can see your answer. Gabriel, well done. Well done. What of others? Okay. Yes, Omolara. I can see Omolara's answer. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's check together. Let's check. I think a lot of people have 16. So probably maybe 16 is the answer. So if you get the answer, so make sure you give yourself a round of applause. So that means you are doing fine. Okay. Now, so now you are asked to find A Now to find A, you find B, sorry, when A is what? When A is 17. Okay, so A is 17. Now, how do we do this? Now, let's look at it. So we have 17 equals to 1 plus 2 square root of B. Okay, so here you subtract 1 from both sides. We have 17 minus 1 equals to 2 square root of B. And that gives you 16 equals to 2 square root of B. Okay, so now what do? You divide both sides by 8, by 2. Divide this by 2, divide this by 2. So this will give you what? 8 equals to square root of P. Now what do we do next? The next thing to do now is to take square of both sides. So we square this, 8 square, and we square this, square root of B squared. Okay? So when you square this, we have 64 equals to B. So this is going to be the answer. Oh, so that's unfortunate. Uh, Many of us got 16. How did we get that answer? How did you get 16? What happened? So check your workings. So this is how you are expected to solve this problem. Okay? What happened? All right, so the answer is 64. Okay, the answer is 64. All right, that's good. Okay, so you can check your workings and see. Now, the next question I want to bring out is a question that many people uh, want me to solve over and over and over and over. So let me write the question on the board and we'll see. All right, so this is the question here. Yes, if you have not given a thumb to the class, kindly do that now before we solve this problem. Now give a thumb to the class, a like thumb, give that to the class now before we solve this problem. All right, thank you for doing that. Okay, now let's look at the problem. Now if x varies as y and z, x varies as y and z, find the percentage change in x when y is decreased by 10% and z is decreased by 30%. Now, given that x equals to 2 when y equals to 0.2 and z equals to 2 over 3, find x when y is 6, when z equals to 3 over 4. How do we solve this problem? Let's look at the first sentence here. So we have if y solution, or if x, sorry, if x varies directly as y and z, so we have y times z. Now if this, then what it means is that x equals to k y z, where k is a constant. Okay, all right, so that's what we have. But now let's look at the next phrase now. Find the percentage change in x when y is decreased by 10%. So we need to know the new p. Okay, the value of y is decreased by 10%. So let's call that value of p p1, or let's say, okay, we have that as y1. Okay, when y is decreased by 10%, sorry, y is decreased by 10%, so we have 90 over 100 of y. Okay, so when y is decreased by 10%, so that's going to be 90 over 100 y. So just take away 10 from 100, so you have 90 here at the numerator, so we have 100 here. Hope you understand that. So you can simplify this same thing as 0 cancel 0 here. You have 9 over 10 y. Hope you get that. Now let's look at the second one. And z is decreased by 30%. Z is decreased by 30%. Let's write the second z decreased by 30% as z1. That is 70 over 100 z. You get that? Just take away 30 from 100. You have 70 over 100. So, and that is the same thing as 7 over 10 z. Is that taken? All right. So we need to get an expression now for x, because we want to know the change in percentage. So we have z1 to be equals to, or let's say it varies directly as y1 z1, which is the same thing as writing x1 equals to k y1 z1, where k is a constant. Okay, k is a constant. You can write that. So k is a constant. Now, what do we do next now? Let's plug in the value of y1 and z1. So plug that in. And so we have x1 equals to k times y1 is 9 over 10 y, okay, times z1 is 7 over 10 z. Okay, so now when you multiply everything together, you have x1 equals to 9 times 7, that is 63 over 100, K, Y, Z. All right. So here now, you can see K, Y, Z is the same thing as X here. So that means these three terms multiplying each other can be replaced by X. So now let's replace that. So we have X1 equals to 63 over 100X. Okay, can you see the relationship now? So that means this new X now will have been reduced by what? So just take away 63 from 100. That gives you 37. Will have been reduced by 37. Do you understand now? So for you to get to 100 here, so you just need to add 37. So therefore, X will reduce, will decrease or reduce, will decrease by 37%. Okay, so once Y is decreased by 10% and Z is decreased by 30%, now it implies that X will decrease by what? 37%. And that answered the first part of the question. Okay, now let's look at the second part of the question. Now, the question asks you that when you are giving X to be 2, Y to be 0.2, and Z to be 2/3, you have to find X when Y is 6 and Z is 3/4. All right, now let's do that. So now we are going to be making use of this equation. So let's plug in the values of X, Y, and Z into this equation. So you have 2 equals to K times, what is Y? Y is 0.2 times Z is 2/3. So we can convert this one to fraction. So we have 2 equals to K times 1/5 times 2/3. Okay, so that gives you 2 equals to, now let's multiply what we have in the numerator here, because this one is over 1. K times 1 times 2, that's 2K over 15. So you can cross multiply. So you have 2K equals to, when you multiply this, you have 30. You have K equals to, you divide both sides by 2. So you'll be having 30/2. So K is what? K equals to 15. Hope you get that. So now the next thing is to get the connecting formula. What's going to be the connecting formula? Just change this K to 15. So we have X equals to 15YZ. X equals to 15YZ. Then you can now go ahead and find X. Okay, so let's plug in the values of Y and Z. So we have X equals to 15 times, what is Y? What is Y? Y is 6 times, and what is Z? Z is 3/4. Okay, so what do we have now? See that 2 goes here is 2, 2 goes here is 3. All right, so that means that we'll be having X equals to 15 times 3 times 3. Okay, everything over 2. So now what do we have now? 15 times 3, that gives you what? That is 45, right? So 45 times 3, so that should be 135. Okay, over 2. All right. So can we simplify this? And let's see. Okay, let's simplify this. X equals to 2 goes in 13. That is going to give you 6, remainder 1. Now you put that 1 remainder in front of 15. 2 goes in 15. That is 7. So it remains 1/2. So this is going to be the answer to the problem. All right. So I want to believe we all get that. So now making use of this connecting formula. So I want you to do this for me. Do this for me. Making use of this connecting formula. Find. Okay, where's the connecting formula? Okay, we have substituted the value of k. So this is it now. Okay, so find y when z equals to 0.5 and x equals to 3/7. Okay, so can you do this now? Find y when z is 0.5 and x equals to 3.7. Now let's quickly do this one and drop the answer in the comment section. Okay, so let's see what we have as an answer. Okay, can we see the board now? Is it better now? Okay, someone said the board is blur. What about now? Is it better? Can we see the board clearly? Can we see the board clearly? Okay, I think Bola have dropped an answer. Others are still working. So work your answer out. Let's see what you have. Yes, okay, I can see Kabiru. Y is 21. Okay, now let's wait for others. Okay, along for me. Y is your answer in decimal form? Y is in decimal form? Okay, yes. Omalara, yes, I can see your answer. Yes, I'm waiting for others. Yes, Bello, I want to see your results. You're welcome to class. All right. Jamil, yes. What is your answer? Okay, rescore, I can see 70.5. Okay, that's your answer. Yes, I want to see others. Okay, 17 whole number 1 over 5. Yes. Okay. Yes, I'm waiting for, I can't see Pamela's answer. Do we still have Pamela in here? Who else? So, Marinette. Okay. Um, yes, can you drop your answer? Okay. All right. Okay. I think we can now solve the problem together. Let's see what you're expected to get. Let's see if you are correct. Zero 0.5. Okay, so what do we have as the connecting formula? What do we have as the connecting formula? We have x equals to 15 yz. Okay, I think that's what we have as the connecting formula. All right, that has been cleaned. So now the question wants you to find y when x is 3 over 7 and z is 0.5. Now let's plug in the value. So we have 3 over 7 equals to 15 times y times, what do we have? This is 1 over 2. Okay, that's 1 over 2. 0.5 is the same thing as 1 over 2. So here you have 3 over 7 equals to 15y over 2. You get that? 15 times y. That's 15y times 1. You have 15. So you have this. All right. So what's the next thing to do? Is to cross multiply. To have 7 times 15y equals to 3 times 2. Okay. So when you multiply, what do you have? 3 times 5 is 35, write 5. And 3 times, 7 times 1 is 7 plus 3, that's 10. Okay, y equals to 6. So the next thing is to divide both sides by 105. So you have y equals to 6 over 105. Okay, so that is all we can do, but we have to check, can we simplify further? I think we can simplify further. Now look at it. Now 3 goes here is 2. 3 goes in 10. That is going to give us what? 3. It will remain 1. 3 goes in 15. That is what? That's 5. So that means y is 2 over 35. Okay? So I hope that is correct. 3 goes here is 1. So you put 1 here. 3 goes in 3 goes in 15, that's 5. So that is going to be the correct answer to the problem. All right, so I want to believe you understand what I did here now. So if you have any reservation on this answer, let me know, because I can see nobody dropped this answer. What happened? What happened? So okay, do you all agree with me that that is going to be the answer? Y equals to 2 over 35. Okay, okay, I think Progress is saying she's the only one that got the answer. All right. Okay, I thought what I saw was 6 over 105. However, you guys tried, but then whenever you have a fraction of this form, always remember that you need to simplify. So you simplify your answer, to the simplest form. And so this is going to be the answer to the problem. All right. So we are going to be stopping here today. I actually planned that we are going to look at 1 or 2 questions under trigonometry, because we have been treating trigonometry for some time. So, and I'm going to treat some questions with you. But tomorrow is another day, so we are going to be looking at some questions under trigonometry and also under variation. So we look at, I'm going to get standard question, Waec questions and Neco questions that you actually love, and then we are going to solve everything. So don't forget, always remember to invite your friends. Tell someone, your classmates, about this class. Let everyone be in the class and learn together. All right. So I want to believe you all enjoy the class today. So if you are new in this platform and you have not subscribed to this channel, ensure you do that before you leave. Subscribe, okay, and also give a like to the class. All right. So if you actually love the class, all right. So thank you very much for watching. So have a nice time. Bye bye. I love you guys. Bye bye.